Okay, a little bit of a spicy tweet on me. All right. But Ethan Klein posting this on his story a day or two ago.
Tell Ethan I will.
He posted this on his story with the text, "How many lawtubers saying they're fucked will it take to get through to them?" And let me let the clip play.
Debate him.
Yeah.
Is he running away with?
You can debate him. You can debate him in a court of law. So you want to debate Ethan Klein? You have your opportunity. You have your opportunity. There's a moderator to the debate. It's called a federal judge. Good luck.
And I can't be the only one who saw this, right? Guys, I can't be the only one who saw Chuck McGill. Jimmy, you're a chip with a machine gun. This chicanery. I can't be the only person, right?
Who was that fatso?
No, I don't want to engage in body shaming. Oh my God. Yeah, that was amazing. He even has like Chuck's mannerisms, by the way. Like the way that he talks about the cases, or the way that he's talking about debating in a federal court.
Out right now, but tell Ethan I will debate him.
Yeah.
Is he running away with?
You can debate him. You can debate him in a court of law. So you want to debate Ethan Klein? You have your opportunity. You have your opportunity. There's a moderator to the debate.
Couldn't be precious Jimmy. Couldn't be precious Jimmy. Also, I love the idea that a judge would love to just, host Ethan Klein's debates effectively and not, I don't know, take on real cases. But the other person I've seen that's commented on this a lot, who's really been milking this as much as they can, has been this guy.
You can be a vexatious litigant.
Let's stop there. So pseudo-intellectuals like Hassan, like...
Before we go further, I can't resist. I have to show you guys this. This is what this guy has on his YouTube channel, by the way. Myth of St. Floyd debunked, with the thumbnail of a George Floyd mural with angel wings and a halo. And then the text debunked on it. Walt Disney Corporation, corruption exposed. DEI abolished. And the thumbnail is him pointing at the screen, and the text says "RIP DEI," and then a comment about Taylor Lorenz that's titled "LawTube called misogynist again," featuring @Nate the lawyer. Stay toxic. Oh, sorry, this is his Rumble channel. This guy is the guy who keeps saying that he's unbiased.
When it played out the copyright angle versus a defamation angle or some other sort of angle. So this is actually, to me, was kind of surprising. It was an interesting surprise, but actually a pleasant one, because it gives me an opportunity to
talk about the law in an objective way
without going into the personalities themselves.
Anyone who's even like, I'm sorry, but if you're still parroting the George Floyd was no angel, the marbles are gone, people. The marbles are gone. How can you claim to care about the law and also actively defend the police state that killed him before he got to, I don't know, get fair treatment from the law? Like, if you care about the law at all, there's no universe where you should be getting anywhere close to defending the cops for killing an unarmed, in handcuffs, by the way, person. Continuing. Let's go back to the clip.
You can be a vexatious litigant.
Let's stop there. So pseudo-intellectuals like Hassan
talk about the law in an objective way without going into the personalities themselves.
like to use big words that they don't understand. The word vexatious litigant does not just mean someone who files a lot of lawsuits. That is, it's not just that. A vexatious litigant is someone who files lawsuits with no merit, meaning they're going to get immediately dismissed, meaning these are lawsuits with no legal basis. And what you never hear from Hassan,
talk about the law in an objective way without going into the personalities themselves,
is you never hear him talking anything at all about the legal basis. Now, if he wants to argue that the system is broken, that's fine. And in fact, even myself and other lawtubers have admitted that, yes, parties.
I can't believe I've lived long enough to see a man mansplaining something to another man. Like he literally said, well, Hassan, sweetheart, I know you used the term vexatious litigant here, but you obviously didn't know what it meant. So let me explain it.
With a lot of money tend to do better in court. That is very much true. And we've admitted that and talked about that. And I've been a critic of that when it comes to certain cases like with Walt Disney and the Walt Disney Corporation. That can be a problem. But throwing out words like vexatious litigant kind of goes against the rub here, because you have to admit that it has merit if you can come up with no
This guy hates Hassan so much, you would think a lawyer would be able to hide it better.
legal argument against the case. Not an emotional argument, not a claim of bias, not any other claim. You have to tell me, Hassan Piker, why legally they will win. Your orbiters will win. And
So like the telltale sign of like an insane person on the internet using the term orbiter.
And Ethan Klein will lose. Otherwise, it is a meritorious claim. That's a big word you can use now, meritorious, Hassan.
I can't believe he's mansplaining to another man. It's just like, it's amazing. It's so good.
So these are meritorious complaints, which are going to get past a motion to dismiss, which is, just to explain for you, for Hassan and for everybody out there, that's the first step. Now, that does not mean Ethan Klein will ultimately prevail. Ethan Klein may very well lose this case. Now, we've said, hey, doesn't look good for Hassan's orbiters. It's looking kind of bad for Hassan's orbiters. I think, in all fairness, the odds are on Ethan here, but they're never 100%. There's always a chance that your orbiters can prevail.
There's like so many things in this like 2-minute segment that should immediately discredit this person. Like this person is so biased. If you believe him when he says that he's not biased,
Talk about the law in an objective way.
I have a bridge to sell you, dude. I have a bridge to sell you. Also to like try and like flex your intellectual prowess.
Don't understand. The word vexatious litigant
When you say things
does
like
not
this,
just mean someone who files a lot of lawsuits. That is, it's not just that. A vexatious litigant is it's not just that. A vexatious litigant is someone who files lawsuits with no merit, meaning they're going to get immediately dismissed, meaning
why does he sound like ordinary
They
gamer?
want to go after Hassan legally, but can't because they know he has money.
Correct. Saying like one example of like how pathetic this video is, trying to flex your intellectual prowess on other people and then saying the word vexatious litigant as if that's not 2 words and as if you shouldn't be saying the term vexatious litigant. Like, I know we're getting in the weeds here, but this shit is important if you're pretending to be smarter than somebody else. Having the sentence, this is pathetic. Like, this is actually, like, you file court documents. This is a lawyer who files court documents. Who's actively trying to flex on other people.
Vexatious litigant does not just mean someone who files a lot of lawsuits. That is, it's not just that.
Guy who has a way with words. It's not just that. Beautiful. Excellent. Well articulated. Also, like, the entire premise of the clip is so ridiculous. Hassan doesn't have to prove to whoever the fuck you are whether or not it's a vexatious litigation. Whether or not Ethan is a vexatious litigant. Him not proving it doesn't mean that he used the word incorrectly. You don't have to define terms or define words in order to be using them correctly. You can use a word correctly or use a term correctly without having to defend using it, because it's a statement of opinion. And nothing in this clip suggests that Hassan doesn't know what the term vexatious litigant means. In the clip, all he's saying is, yeah, I think that Ethan is being a vexatious litigant right now. The fact that he, like, this is, when I'm saying if you've never experienced mansplaining, dude, this is the perfect example of what mansplaining looks like. The fact that he assumes Hassan doesn't know what the term means and then feels the need to define it for him as if, again, Hassan didn't know what the terms meant there, or what that term meant there, is just chef's kiss. Oh my God. The implication in this clip should be that Hassan believes that the case has no merit, that the lawsuit has no merit, because that's what he said. But you just assume that that's not what he said, or that he didn't know what the word meant, because there's no way he could think that. He could have an opinion that you don't have, that you don't hold. Like, brutal. Just fucking brutal, dude. He does kind of look like Richard Spencer's cousin. He does kind of give that vibe. And then the last guy, I haven't really watched any of his clips or any of his stuff, so I don't have strong opinions, but we all agree, right? The last lawyer that's been featured, the third lawyer that's been featured by Ethan Klein on his Instagram stories, that guy looks like if Roaring Kitty was, or Kitten, whatever the fuck his name was, if he went into law instead of, I can't even call it trading. I should call it GME trading. I'm trying to see if I can find the clip. Someone sent it to me. Where is it? We agree, right? No, as soon as it got on the screen.
Today I want to.
Does he not give? Is he not giving?
Talk about Ethan.
He does. He literally does. He literally looks like if you took, is it Roaring Kitty or Roaring Kitten? I think it's Kitty. Went into law instead of going all in on GME like a fucking idiot and still making money off of it. This, like, by far the dumbest trade on the planet was going all in on GME. Just like going all in on fucking Bitcoin and then having it work out was so stupid. So dumb. It goes against every principle of like investing. And if it works, it works. And then you make a lot of money for no fucking reason because stocks are fake. Also kind of gives Malfoy. I can kind of see it. I can kind of see it. Oh, I remember the Chuck McGill, that guy. I remember the tweet that I saw that was like, that immediately told me everything that I needed to know. What, that's for later. That's for later. It was, he was tweeting about how seeking gender affirming care was effectively mutilating children. This guy. And I was like, okay. Got it. I know everything I need to know. All right. Cool. Immediately informed on everything I need to know. All right. Got it. At which point I was like, you know what? Actually, it's okay to go a little spicy. A little spicy on me. I'm glad people enjoyed this tweet. I know it's a little niche, but not Precious Jimmy. This guy talking about Legal Eagle. Not Precious Jimmy, though. Okay, sorry. Enough having fun. I apologize. The worst crime a woman can commit on the internet. Having fun. And he gets to be a lawyer. I worked my ass off. Cattenbarge published another article. Let me see. We'll get to it in a second. We'll get to the Cattenbarge article in one sec.
The best lawyer that you guys can find, the best lawyer, listen up, the best lawyer you can find is the lawyer that's good at settlements.
Reminder, this is the guy that says George Floyd was no angel. And I think being like a lawyer and trying to defend that position is fucking insane. Being a lawyer and like defending the world where like cops can just kill whoever they want, even when the person is in fucking handcuffs.
You need to find a lawyer that's a good negotiator, and you need to calm Ethan down and settle with him. If you settle with him, maybe you can save your ass and save yourself some embarrassment and get some of these things dropped. Maybe if you guys come out and settle with him, that's the easiest way. Settlement is always easy. Settle with them quick. It will save you so much time, money, and public embarrassment. Because otherwise, you're going to have lawtubers like myself.
Guys, do I take legal advice from someone who's actually watched whether or not I reacted to the content? Or do I take legal advice from a guy who has a financial incentive to promote the fuck out of Ethan Klein? Legal advice for someone who wants to fight for me or legal advice for someone who wants me to fail?
And all of the people on the internet covering this for the next years, and you are going to get smoked. It's not going to look good. Your underwear, and I mean that legally, is going to be dragged through the streets. This is going to be like that episode of Game of Thrones with the shame episode with Cersei.
What I will say, though, the funniest thing about this guy is that even he looked at like the filing and said that the Nightmare on Denim Street,
Deanbo, for always bringing the fun.
the headline,
Due to an unforeseen error, my donation for your lawsuit was placed on a high shelf. I blame Mayor Cat DNM Balls DNM short. Wormy, where is the pasta care package I sent Deanbo needs to carbo load for this fight?
Thank you, Mario. Thank you for the 38 months. The best part about this, by the way, is that even this guy, when looking at my case or looking at the filing against me, even he said, Nightmare on Denim Street, that wasn't that funny.
It's a nightmare on Denim Street. Not only did she...
Okay, that's kind of... I think they... Okay. Okay. Real quick. The Casey-tron one, she smoked more than she spoke. That was funny. Nightmare on Denim Street, I think that's a little pushing it. That's a little pushing it. They could come up with a better one than that. I'm gonna objection on that one. I mean, I like the legal humor, but that one, I don't know.
Dog, even when the lawyers that side with you, even the lawyers that side with Ethan are like, that wasn't funny.
That's going to be what's going to happen legally. You don't want that. You don't want the dirty laundry out there. Settle. That's the real advice. Listen.
There's something so funny about Ethan posting this on his story. Please settle, please. He's not actually a lawyer, LOL. I don't know whether or not he's an actual lawyer, and I don't really care. Anyways, Ethan on vacation, he posted this as well. Okay, I was kidding about suing Sean. I thought it would be funny to add a guy after being called a misogynist. We do a little trolling on vacation. The truth is, if I thought I had a good case, I would have added him from the start. He was very close to making the cut, though. Anyway, pretty funny how you all went from calling me a misogynist to calling me racist. For the record, I didn't even know Sean was black. So it turns out my lawsuit isn't racist, just misogynist. But if you ask me, I'm the true feminist. I hold people accountable, regardless of gender. But go ahead and tell the judge about how it's not fair that I'm targeting 3 women. Let's see how that works out for you. And then the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in an Instagram story ever. All the best, Ethan Klein, 6/28/25, 7:03 p.m. PST. I've seen fan theories talking about it, basically saying like this was probably in an attempt to ensure that if Hassan did donate the $25K, that he wouldn't be on the hook in any legal way because it's been timestamped and shown that he took it backsies. And a lot of people are theorizing that his lawyer sent him a message saying, "Hey, you need to make a story right now saying you were joking and you need to timestamp it right now. Because if Hassan actually does donate that money, it's not a good look." And then, yeah, Cattenbarge put out a piece. Sorry about the flashbang. She put out a piece on him retracting his demand for Hassan. First he said, "I'm going to sue Sean the Black unless Cattenbarge and Snarkers and Taylor Lorenz all apologize for calling me a misogynist." Personally, I felt like it was obvious that that was bullshit and that was not going to be the reason why he does or doesn't sue someone. And that always just felt like a way to just get these people to apologize to him because he wants to read the apology, because he wants the like feel good of watching people apologize to him. And then he went on to say on his story, "Okay, fine. You don't need to give me an apology, but if Hassan donates $25K to each of the women's GoFundMes, then I won't sue Sean the Black." And then he later went on and said, "Just kidding, I was just trolling. You don't have to give that money. Here's a timestamp so you know that in case the money goes through, I wasn't involved in this." I'm going to be honest, I do think Sean has handled the situation very well online. This was very anime man character. This was very anime protagonist. He presents a false choice, grovel to him as he exerts control. He wants to feel over women, deny him whatever gratification he gets from that narcissistic behavior, and subsequently be blamed by him for a small creator being sued. I reject this choice. Fuck you, Ethan. This was so anime protagonist. But yeah, Yeah, I haven't read this, so maybe I can read it offline. Get back to you guys because it's a little long. Entrapment, from my understanding, I mean, unless the legal definitions change, from my understanding, is about state authorities, not civilians. So entrapment isn't necessarily a defense here, or isn't relevant to this civil case. It's also about criminal activities, from my understanding, not civil activities. Entrapment is only refers to law enforcement, I believe. I believe it only refers to law enforcement, and it only refers to criminal cases, not civil cases. But the thing is, again, if you're trying to paint a particular picture to a judge to explain to them the characters in this story, that stuff is still helpful, right? Having videos like that or whatever, being able to show like that maybe this isn't in good faith. Yeah. Okay. Like, just because something doesn't, just because there's a particular clip that doesn't make this case into an open and shut case, doesn't mean it's not still helpful. So, yeah. I love these people. I love these chatters. Do you have a degree in anything? Not talking crap, just curious. Well, actually, your messages weren't, in fact, talking crap. Maybe I put the mean voice on you for no reason. I apologize, actually. Maybe I went in too hard on you. Wait, my bad. Friendly fire, I think. Yeah, I know some numbers. That's why the people being like, put the fries in the bag, are so funny. It's like, dude, I have an accounting degree. If I wasn't streaming, I would just go get my CPA. But sure, keep fantasizing about minimum wage workers, I guess. Weird, but okay.
You are the rent payer. You are the legend. Thank you, Ethan Klein.